one opinion of Imam Shafi'i that you start at Safa and come back to Safa, that's one round. But even the Shafi'i don't actually accept that opinion too much because it's 14 rounds all the way. Okay? Most of the scholars, they say you start at Safa and then Marwa, that's one. Marwa to Safa, that's two. So 7 would be starting at Safa and ending at Marwa. Yes, sir. The question is the order of the thing. The sunnah is this. The sunnah is first doing the rami, then the sacrifice, then the hair, then the tawaf and sa'i. That's the actual sunnah. If the order gets a little bit messed up, it's okay, as long as you try to do the sacrifice and then cutting of the hair. And that's why I suggest to people that instead of basically waiting to get news of the sacrifice, which may or may not be accurate, okay? Imagine there's millions of animals that are going to be sacrificed on that day, right? It's kind of surprising that you get the news, okay, your animal will be sacrificed right in the morning. That's kind of strange. So I suggest to people, go make the tawaf, come back, then cut your hair. By that time, you're pretty certain that your animal has been sacrificed. That's the reason that I say, go do the tawaf, delay the cutting of the hair. Because at least the cutting of the hair, the sacrifice and the cutting of the hair should be done one after the other. Sacrifice first, and then the cutting of the hair. No, you can do tawaf without the last day before leaving. Yeah. So, for example, you're going to leave your hotel in the afternoon, right? That morning you perform tawaf without. Don't do it 2 or 3 days before. Yeah. Now, that is tawaf al-ifadah. There's 2 tawaf. Right. Now, there's another point that reminded me. Say, for example, you didn't get a chance to perform tawaf al-ifadah yet, which was supposed to be on the 10th. You can perform it on the 11th or 12th if you got hung up for some reason. Now, say, for example, your flight is on the evening of the 12th. You're coming back. What you can do is you combine tawaf al-ifadah and tawaf al-wada at the same time with this one intention. Make tawaf al-ifadah and tawaf al-wada at the same time because you're not going to have time to perform tawaf al-wada because you're leaving this evening. Right? So that's why you just perform tawaf al-ifadah and tawaf al-wada at the same time with the same intention. That I'm doing both at the same time. So tawaf al-ifadah or tawaf al-ziyarah is the one that's performed on the 10th, and if you don't do that, you're going to be in the state of ihram. Now remember this, important issue, very important issue, pay attention. If you come back before performing tawaf al-ifadah, it is haram for you to engage in intimacy with your wife. Go back, take another flight back, go perform the tawaf, then come back. Then you can perform it. Otherwise, your wife is haram upon you. Very touchy issue, but important for you to know. It's not likely that you'll miss the tawaf, because it's a very important rukn of Hajj. But remember the consequence of not doing this tawaf al-ifadah. Okay? You're not going to be out of the state of ihram to a degree that you can engage in intimacy with your wife. Alright? So that's an important issue. Yes? first and foremost, the issue that you touched upon is important. That when you are in Makkah and you are not taking care of joining the Jama'ah prayer, that is kind of painful in the first place. All right, that's kind of not right, not appropriate that you're missing the Jama'ah with the Haram. Okay, but if you do miss it by accident or you were stuck in the bathroom or whatever happened, you overslept, then you would be praying Qasr prayer because you're actually inside. If you're praying on the phone, you will be shortening the prayer. Yes, see, in the manasik of Hajj, the woman who is in a menstruation can do all the manasik. Everything she can do except the tawaf. Except the tawaf of the Kaaba, everything she can do. So she can go to Mina, she can go to Muzdalifah, she can go to Arafah, and she can engage in all of those manasik. There's not a problem. The only issue will be that now before leaving, she has to perform tawaf al-ifada. Alright? So now, for example, now she has applied to Hajj tomorrow, and still she hasn't been clean yet. So what she should do is, she should still perform the tawaf because of necessity. Perform the tawaf because she cannot be out of the state of ihram until she performs it, right? And then after that, I think there may be an issue of giving them as a recompense for performing the tawaf in the state of impurity. But, what you can do also, like I mentioned yesterday, it is permissible for women to take tablets to prevent the menstruation from happening, so that they don't run into those things. The main issue is sometimes women, they have lengthy cycles, up to 9-10 days. So if it starts, then how are you going to perform, especially the tawaf al-ifada, without and complete the Hajj, especially if you're leaving. You cannot change tickets, you cannot delay the flight. It's almost impossible to do that. If there's a possibility of doing that, and you can do that, then that should be considered. But otherwise, that's the only option that you should, in the state of that impurity, just perform the tawaf and give them sacrifice an animal as a recompense for doing it in the state of impurity. Yes. The tawaf al-ziyarah is accompanied by the sa'i. The sa'i has to be done after tawaf al-ziyarah. But the problem is, say for example, you have very little time. Like I said, the example was, your flight is leaving this evening, and you have only a few hours. So it's impossible for you to do tawaf al-ziyarah and tawaf al-wada at the same time. So therefore, you intend with the tawaf al-ziyarah, tawaf al-wada, and then perform the sa'i. But the order is actually tawaf al-ziyarah, sa'i, and then tawaf al-wada whenever you're about to leave. But the only issue is if you're leaving on the same day, then what you combine it. Yes, like I said, the tawaf al-ziyarah, it doesn't have to be performed on the 10th. You can perform it on the 11th. You can perform it on the 12th. It is permissible for you to do that. But the only issue that you're going to run into by doing that is that the crowd is just going to get bigger and bigger. So the earlier you do it, the better, according to my experience. Or you can do it, maybe in the middle of the night. That is also a good time to do it. But again, depending on my limited experience, the the earlier you do it, the better it is. You get it over and done with, and the crowd is going to be a little bit better. But again, practically, if physically the woman is not able to do that, or whoever's with you is not able to walk all the way, then you're better off waiting for somebody to take you, the transportation that is provided for you, and then you go on that transportation. Sorry. If you miss tawaf with that is a sunnah tawaf. If you miss tawaf with that, your hajj is actually valid. Okay? Tawaf with that is kind of like, you can say it's a sunnah to do it before leaving, but if you miss it, it's okay. It's not a huge issue that will mess up your hajj. You have a USB drive copy. Yes. Can you carry what? Quran? Yes, you can keep it with you. Nowadays people have Quran on their phones and everything. So that's a possibility also. That's something to consider. Yes. Yeah, you should carry enough stuff with you to help you through the night, like a mat to lay down on the floor, so it's just going to be hard rock. Okay? And if you prefer to put a blanket over yourself, have a blanket, or your ihram will be sufficient for you. Usually enough for you to cover yourself. Okay, inshallah. Yes. How old? Okay. That's a good question. The actual thing about Hajj, maybe we should touch upon this subject. What makes Hajj obligatory upon you? If you are sane, if you are mature means you've reached adolescence, you pass adolescence. If you have the financial and the physical ability, meaning financial meaning, if you have enough money to take you there and bring you back, and also the enough money to leave for your family while you're away, then the Hajj is obligatory upon you. So, how old you have to be? 15 or adolescent is the minimum age. If you go as a child, then you have to repeat that Hajj when you reach adolescence. All right, let's wrap up, inshallah. And all these groups, inshallah, they should have a religious leader with them. But this overview is important for you, so that you go in with this insight. And inshallah, the main thing is that these leaders, inshallah, will help you while you're there. That's okay.
Show the phone. Please check your text.
And answer.
That's right.
Yeah,
अभी निकला देखते नहीं है फोन दिखाए ना मैंने मैसेज किया प्लीज चेक योर टेक्स्ट नहीं फोन दिखाओ
I think we have 3 different questions around here. So that's
आदमी कोई तुरंत मरवा देगी
फोन दिखाओ
ये कौन है वो भी बोलेगा इसको तो बंद करो